My son taking a baseball bat to his sister's car windshield the morning she was moving away was the best thing he ever did. I woke up to my 22-year-old daughter Sienna's hysterical sobbing and ran out to the driveway. I couldn't believe what I was seeing. The front windshield of her Honda Civic was completely shattered, safety glass sparkling across the black asphalt. She was scheduled to drive to Montreal in exactly 3 hours to permanently move in with her older fiancé, Callum. It was supposed to be the start of her dream life, and now her only mode of transportation was destroyed. Where is Owen? I demanded. My husband found our 12-year-old son sitting on the front porch steps, the aluminum bat resting casually against his knees, looking entirely too calm. Owen, what on earth did you do? I yelled, trying to hold Sienna as she hyperventilated by the driver's side door. I had to stop her from leaving with him, Owen said. His voice was completely steady, completely devoid of the panic a kid should have after destroying expensive property. This was the boy Sienna had taught to ride a bike, who used to beg her to read him bedtime stories. I couldn't fathom why he would ruin her big move. Before I could even process the shock, a sleek black SUV pulled up to the curb. Callum stepped out, holding 2 iced coffees, his usual charming, polished smile plastered across his face. He stopped dead when he saw the crushed glass. Babe, what happened to your car? He asked, rushing over to wrap his arms tightly around Sienna's shoulders. He shot me a venomous look, silently blaming me for the chaos. Callum was 29, a senior financial analyst, the kind of guy who charmed every parent at dinner parties, and they had been engaged for 7 months. Did the little psycho do this? Callum sneered, pointing at Owen. I always told you he was unhinged, Mrs. Holt. Owen stood up from the porch. I broke her car, so she couldn't drive to Canada with you, he said loudly, because you're trying to trap her. Owen, go to your room, I screamed, but Owen marched straight down the driveway, his fists clenched. You pretend to be nice, but you're ruining her life on purpose. You got her fired. The driveway went dead silent. Callum let out a harsh, mocking laugh. Kids watch too much television. Mrs. Holt, Sienna, let's just pack your bags in my trunk. We're leaving now. Sienna wouldn't move. She stared at her little brother, her eyes red and swollen. I guessed his iPad passcode on Tuesday when he left it on the kitchen counter, Owen said, ignoring Callum entirely. You told us you lost your graphic design job because your boss hated you, but he didn't. I pulled Owen back by his shirt, but he shoved a thick stack of printed papers into my hands. Look at them, Owen demanded. I looked down at the top sheet. It was a printed screenshot of an email thread. The sender was a fake anonymous account, but the IP address at the bottom perfectly matched Callum's home network. The emails were sent directly to Sienna's former boss, fabricating elaborate lies about Sienna stealing client assets, attaching manipulated screenshots of her portfolio. I flipped to the next page. It was a WhatsApp group chat between Callum and 2 unsaved numbers. I read the terrifying words, got her fired today. Next step is moving her across the border where she doesn't know anybody. She'll be completely dependent on me by Christmas. My stomach plummeted into my shoes. Oh my god, I choked out. Sienna, look at this. Callum's face flushed a deep, ugly crimson. Those are completely doctored, he snapped, aggressively grabbing Sienna's wrist. He's a disturbed kid playing with Photoshop. We are leaving right this second. Get in my SUV. My husband stepped off the porch and shoved Callum backward, forcing him to release our daughter. Do not touch her, my husband growled. Callum stumbled back, trying to regain his composure. You're all insane, he said, his voice dropping its friendly pitch. Sienna, if you don't get in this car right now, the wedding is off and you'll have absolutely nothing. But Owen wasn't finished. You also forgot to delete your hidden camera app, Owen said quietly. Everyone froze. Owen reached into his jacket pocket and pulled out a small, black, cube-shaped device no bigger than a piece of dice. He said he found it tucked inside the vent cover in Sienna's childhood bedroom while he was helping her pack her boxes last night. Callum, who had been loudly denying the emails just seconds ago, suddenly stopped breathing. The blood completely drained from his face, leaving him looking like a ghost in the morning sun. Owen held up his own phone, tapped the screen, and pulled up the live feed. Full story on the channel, link below.